guys, this is Greg Siegel from Codeable, and today I'm going to be giving you another business tutorial. So today we're going to learn how you can actually work out the doubling rate of your profits. So I was watching a video on YouTube, and it was called, I believe, The Most Important Video You'll Ever See. And I found that very interesting, and it basically teaches you how you work out this, but it basically put it into scientific situations and lots of different things, but I'm just going to extract that and put it in a business situation for you. So I hope you enjoy this as well. Okay, so basically what we're going to work out is if you have a steady progression over a number of years, how long will it take to double your profits, let's say. So if my business, if we go up here, if my business profits are increasing by a steady growth of 7% per year, what is my doubling time? So that's basically saying if in the first year I have, I don't know, £20,000 in profit, how long is it going to take, if it's increasing by 7% of 20,000, how long is it going to take for that 20,000 to double to 40,000? So what we need to do is first, now I'm not a great mathematician, but you have to take the number 70. You have to take the number 70 and divide it by this percent over here. So we divide 70 by 7%, and that obviously equals 10. So what that's telling us is that after 10 years, our profits would have doubled. If they steadily increase by 7%, they have to increase by that percent per year. Otherwise, the equation wouldn't work. It would be slightly different. If you had 6% one year, 5%, it would change. It wouldn't be 10 years. It may take 12 years or 14 years. But if it does increase by that 7% per year, in 10 years, you'll have your profits doubled. So if I have my £20,000, it now becomes 40,000. So I hope that seems clear to you. Now if we go and go to our next question, it says Bill's pet shop business gross profits increase steadily by 2.5% per year. How long will it take for Bill to have doubled his gross profit? So what we need to do is, again, take the number 70 and divide it by 2.5, and that will equal, you probably need a calculator for this, but that will equal 28, I believe. Let's just check if I'm wrong. No, I'm not. Okay, 28. So Bill's gross profit will double in 28 years if he increases steadily by that 2.5% per year. So let's just do the last one. This is slightly different. So I hope you're starting to get this. I find it quite interesting, especially if you watch other videos on this as well. I'm putting this into maybe a scientific equation where you can think about like carbon dioxide, how that's affecting the planet, and you can put this in a lot of different situations. You can put it in business situations like I'm doing here, or as I've said, scientific ones or maths problems as well. So it's quite a varied equation, which is fairly interesting if you put it in real life situations like we're doing here. Okay, so this is going to be slightly different. We're going to kind of reverse the equation. What happens if you've only got if you've got the years but you haven't got the percentage rate? Okay, so if we look at this statement here, it says it has taken Katie 20 years to double her net profit. What was her steady increase in profits per year? So this is quite simple. Basically all you have to do is reverse the equation. So all you have to do is you have to take the number 70, and then we need to divide it by 20. Now you may be thinking, well, you haven't really reversed the equation, you're just doing exactly the same thing but putting the years in front of it instead, which is true, but the thing is, it actually makes sense if we get the answer, which is 3.5, dividing 70 by 20, 20 years being the number of years and 70 being the number you need to get the doubling rate. Well, it does make sense, because if we go over here, we know that it takes, with a 7% increase, steady growth rate, sorry, it will take 10 years. So for 20 years, it makes sense, because if we have it takes 20 years for a doubling rate. Okay, and so if we have, well, that means it must be 3.5, because that's half of 7, isn't it? 3.5 is half of 7, and 20 is double the amount of 10. So it does actually make sense if we do that. So I'm just going to leave you with one question so you can kind of figure out one. Obviously, you know, you can always go back and try and work these out for yourself and see how it kind of works, which I'd recommend you doing. But here's one more. Okay, if we can adjust this properly. Okay, so let's see. I'll write it out afterwards. I'm just gonna, let's see. This is off the top of my head. So let's say if I have a, let's think, we'll do one of each. So if I have a business that has a net profit that increases by, let's say, 5%. Why don't we say that? 5% per year. Work out for me what is my doubling rate using this equation. Okay, so what you can do now is you can pause the video, and I'm just gonna, well, we'll try and work out the answer. Okay, so if you pause the video now. Okay, so what we're going to need to do, well, what are we going to need to do? We're going to need to take the number 70, as usual, and we need to divide it by our 5%. So we take 70, we divide it by 5, and that will give us 14. So we divide it by 5, and it will give us 14. So it'll take me 14 years to double my net profit. Now, whatever else my net profit is, that could be quite good. It could be terrible. You know, if I'm only making 10,000 on my net profit, and it takes me 14 years to double that, then I'm not probably doing too well. If my company's worth, you know, a couple of £1 billion, then I've done pretty well to double it in 14 years. Okay, so we're going to go on to another question. Let's say it has taken me. Let's see, 12, I'll call it 12 years to double my business's gross profit. What is my steady rate of growth? Whoop, there we go. Okay, so pause the video again, and we'll work out the answer. Okay, so we need to do exactly the same thing. We just need to take the number 70, divide it by 12, and that will give us our percentage rate. Type that into your calculators. You're going to need to. There's a decimal place in it. Okay, so we end up with 5.83 recurring. So that's in the region, if we're talking in years around, where you can, you know, 5.83 years isn't that easy to work out, but okay, so that's about 6 years, you know, give or take, you know, a few days, but yeah, so we're talking about 6 years. So it takes me approximately 6 years for me to double my, sorry, not 6 years, 6%. I'm doing the wrong question. Okay, 6%, not 6 years. I'm doing the one up here. Okay, so it takes me 12 years at a rate of around 6%, 5.83%, and that will double my business. And you can type that into your calculators and let's say, give a number, 20,000. That's just an easy one to work out, right? Okay, 20,000. If you plug that into your calculators, it should work. So yeah, that was it. I'm sorry I got a little bit confused at the end right there, but yeah. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it interesting. But I find it, you know, you can put it into different situations. But yeah, hopefully it will become useful to you if you do have steady growths within your business or your business studies. You may find this useful. I'm not sure if they cover it, but yeah, it's just a nice little interesting fact I thought I should share with you. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video. This was Greg Siegel from Codable. Thanks for listening.